So, update on the elk hunt. We parked on this dead end road. It had like an old skidder. It was like an old skidder road that went back in, and we were just seeing tons of elk sign, like fresh tracks, muddy tracks and shit and stuff. And then we started smelling fucking elk piss. And we come out, we went through this thick, nasty stuff, and it opened up into like this beautiful area, like you always hear about. They'll be where it's beautiful behind all the thick, nasty shit. Anyways, we get in there, and I see this raghorn. He's a 4x4. He's just standing there, like looking down at the hill, down the hill from me. And I got lucky seeing him because it's so dark in there. You could just see his neck with his head and his ears. You couldn't really see his. You could see like his two eye guards, but he was probably 80 to 100 yards. We were in a flat and he was up on the hill. And started calling and stuff, and he would zigzag up the hill and away. Well, I kept calling, and I seen this fucking bull coming on the other hill, coming down. And he was freaking mad. He's raking his antlers on everything. He's chuckling at me, and I keep barking at him and then bugling, and it's just freaking pissing him off. He keeps stomping and ripping up ferns, and he starts pissing all over himself. And he gets to like 43 yards broadside, and I just have my bugle in my hand, and I'm trying to do everything. So each time he would bend down and rake the ferns, I would do one more step in my shot process, like knock my arrow, get my release hooked on, range him, and then draw, and then I shoot. And I think I didn't hold the button on my rangefinder as the Vortex, where it's like you hold your finger down and it'll show you the front and then the furthest. I think there was like a branch or something. I think he was actually farther than 43 because it went right like underneath him by like a foot. And this was a steep uphill shot. Anyway, he kept waking and stuff, and then he circled back around one more time because I barked at him again. And then I ranged him again at 61. And I shoot every day, all day. Like, I'm pretty accurate 60 and in. And it was a frontal uphill shot, and it missed by like 2 inches off his right side if he's facing downhill. Anyways, I recovered my arrow and stuff, and yeah, it was so intense. I got back to camp and I freaking passed out for 3 or 4 hours. But other than that, we haven't really. They're not rutting. They're not doing much of anything. It was a bull and a satellite, little raghorn, hanging out together in the woods. Today we went back in, dropped in there from a top side, because when he walked off, he just walked off because he was like mad that he couldn't see me. He didn't like run or nothing. And we found he's like tucked back in this bench. It's like, and I would bugle and I could hear him bugle back. So, but the wind's real shifty, so we're hiking back down the road to camp right now, back to the truck. And then we're gonna develop a game plan. Anyways, hope everyone's having a good season.